everybody, this is Tasha Nicole, the entrepreneur. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some tax filing updates for 2020. Some are due to coronavirus and other money tips for self-employed and people who side hustle. You'll find a lot of value in this video, even if these don't apply to you. And this video is for educational purposes only. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is, all right, so IRS has made a decision that due to coronavirus, they're going to be extending the federal tax due date, all right, that April 15th date when everybody has to get those taxes paid, tax returns filed, and everything like that. So the only part of it that has been extended for 90 days to July 15th is if you owe a balance. But do not be confused. As far as for right now, what they're saying is they still want the tax returns by April 15th. Okay, so what that means is that you do still need to file a return, but if you're going to owe a balance, they're giving you a grace period to July 15th without any penalties, without any interest. All right, and this is for individuals who owe up to $1 million. All right, and for corporations, they're giving them up to $10 million. So if you owe anything over that, then this don't even apply to you. All right. So as far as what I was saying about this situation with the tax returns, if you see that you're not going to be able to file your return by April 15th, still file the extension, okay? Because what they can turn around and hit you with is a non-filing penalty if you don't file by the due date. Okay, so I just want you guys to all understand that properly. Okay, now, as I just mentioned, this applies to personal tax returns, including Schedule C filers, right? For our self-employed community or people who have LLCs. If you're not taxed as an S corporation, I don't want to get too technical, but for those who are, you know what I'm talking about. For those who aren't and you're an LLC filer, LLC business, you file a Schedule C tax return with your personal 1040. Okay, and the extension also applies to C corporations. Okay, now let's see next. All right, so if the coronavirus has been affecting your money and you won't, which whose money hasn't not been affected, right, for the most part, but if you don't think you're going to have your full taxes ready to pay, the best thing probably would be to consider a payment plan, okay, or use a credit card to pay it, because usually whatever interest is owing on your credit card is going to be less than the interest you pay if you go on an IRS payment plan. Now, I'm speaking for those who think they still won't be able to pay it by the July 15th deadline that IRS has now granted. Okay, if you don't think you'll have it all together by then, this is a good, these are some good options here. Okay. Now, the next thing is, the next news that some of you probably have already heard, okay, they're going to be sending out a $1,000 check, I believe. It's pretty much going to be for all taxpayers. A lot of us are going through this financial crisis, right? So they're going to be sending out $1,000. It could be over the next couple of weeks, maybe like late April, early May or something like that. So just be on the lookout. The thing with that, though, is that you want to make sure the IRS has your correct address on file. And if you think they don't, so the address they're going to go with is whatever address was on your last filed tax return. If you've moved since then and you haven't updated them because you were just going to let them get the memo when you filed this return, then what you might want to do is file a change of address form, which is IRS form 8822, and for businesses 8822B, because you definitely want to make sure they have your most recent address on file, because you basically won't get the check, or it's going to take forever because it's going to get sent back to them. And then you're going to be trying to figure out where's your check, and they're going to have to reissue it. It's just a whole big headache. So if you need to update your address, do that with these forms. Okay, you go to irs.gov, download those forms. Okay, and it'll show you where to mail them in. The other thing is that before I get to that screen, one other problem with this, though, that it just dawned on me is that if you haven't filed a return in a few years, this could potentially cause an issue for you not to receive this stimulus check that they're going to be sending out. Okay, for a couple of reasons. If you haven't filed a return, and unfortunately there is, that population out there, because I get those calls all the time. Hey, I was referred to you and I have not filed taxes in like 3 or 4 years. So number one, who knows what address they have for you, and number two, if you've been out the loop for a minute, they may not even feel like, okay, what are they sending this for? So that's something to think about. Okay, now let's talk about these letters that are going out. Okay, this has kind of started, I'm not going to say before the coronavirus issue, but these letters began coming out, and it's kind of like not related to the coronavirus issue. Okay, so a lot of people have been receiving this letter called 4464C, and when you get letters, you should always look in the upper right hand corner for the letter code, and you can honestly just Google that code or go on irs.gov and it'll explain what it means. But basically, I took a screenshot of one of them that's been coming in, and this is what it's saying. Okay, we received your income tax return and are verifying its accuracy. We selected your return to verify one or more of the following you may have reported: income, like from your W-2, income tax withholding, tax credits, because we know a lot of us qualify for different credits: child tax credit, earned income credit, educational credit, okay, and business income. We'll contact you or your authorized representative if we have questions. Okay, if you filed the return, you don't need to do anything at this time. We understand your tax refund is very important to you, blase, blase, blase. But the part that is an issue for a lot of people is this could take up to 60 days. What? Okay, so what they're saying here is that, let me summarize this for you. Okay, it's not that you're being audited. They basically selected you for review. All right, and they're stating that you don't need to take any action, and yes, it could unfortunately take up to 60 days. They also mentioned in this letter that you can call them, but honestly, some people who have started calling them are really getting nowhere. I actually network with other tax professionals. We just bounce things off of one another. And the people that I've been speaking to, colleagues of mine, have been saying that, yep, several clients of theirs have also received this letter. And when they're calling IRS, they're really not getting anywhere. So honestly, I don't want to say don't bother to call, but they barely have any information for you as to why you got the letter. Okay. So you basically just need to wait it out and see what the story is. On the back side, I didn't take a snapshot of the back of the letter, but part of what's also on this letter is they mentioned something about if you feel you've been a victim of identity theft, to file this other form, which I can't think of the number right now, but I know it starts like 112 something. Okay. I would not recommend to do that unless you know for a fact you were a victim of identity theft. Because here's the thing, if you file that form, it is going to further prolong them processing your refund, because now they're going to be going on a goose chase about who stole your identity. Okay, because this letter is not really saying that your identity was stolen, but it's like they're kind of mentioning it just in case. It looks like a bunch of nonsense to me, honestly, but that's just my 2 cents. So that's the story with this letter, okay? Now, there's another letter going out called CP05. You may have already received it, or maybe not. You might be getting it, but it's also very similar. I don't have a screenshot of that one, but it is very similar to the other one. All right. Again, this one is not an audit either. It's just saying that they're reviewing. But this letter kind of says it can take up to 45 days. Okay. I think it's not really saying the same 60 days as the as the 4464C letter. All right. So the unfortunate thing with these letters, though, is that you still don't really know what's going to happen. Okay. I say that because what the letter is saying is that they will like further update you after the 45 days if it's this one, or the 60 days if it's the other one, right? But what happens after that? After that, you might get your refund, or you might receive another letter finally asking you to produce the information that they was saying they was questioning. Like, they should just say that now and get it out the way. But they're not. So it could just further prolong, because what happens with that is if after you get these letters and then the time passes and then they send you another letter saying, well, we further reviewed it and now we want you to actually produce this and that, then you're going to have to produce that, which is going to still take more time for you to get your refund. Okay. And what the kinds of stuff they're looking for, especially like when it comes to that business income. This is why, guys, like I've been saying for the longest time, to really start to treat your business like a business. A lot of people are just still not doing that. I recently did a video, and I'm going to put a link in my description box for those who are watching this on YouTube. I recently did a video saying the IRS is cracking down on the self-employed community. And so go and watch that video so that you can understand what's going on. But they're really cracking down because a lot of people, we know there's always bad apples to everything that goes on, right? So a lot of people have been claiming fake businesses. Basically, that's what's going on. And they're tired of it. So different ways that you can verify your business income is multiple ways. Number one, everyone should have business bank accounts. I recently did a video on that as well, about the importance of business bank accounts. You should honestly have a business identification number instead of operating your business through your social security number. A lot of people who are running businesses, getting paid on PayPal, Cash App, and things like that, that's kind of like fine, but that's also going to be your source to verify your income, if you don't really have the business bank account. And if you are getting a 1099, like for people who are doing rideshare driving or food deliveries, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyfts, people who are doing other things. Basically, if you're getting, and not just those industries, there's a lot of industries who people receive 1099 miscellaneous forms, which I'm going to soon be doing a video on that, because that form is going to be changing. But I don't want to get too far into that topic. In any event, what I'm saying is there's multiple ways that you can verify things, okay? They may want to see proof of expenses. So like this is really the time to crack down on that business record keeping, the bookkeeping. It's an expense if you got to outsource someone quality. They have a lot of freelancers out there. But it is what it is. Like, this is what it takes, guys, So yeah, I just wanted to mention all of that to explain to you what's going on. There's so much to just treating your business like a business, so that when you get letters like this and they want to further ask more stuff, you have everything ready. Okay, so before I go, I want to just, share a couple of money tips. One of the things, especially at this time, right, there's so much going on with these financial crisis issues. So I really recommend that we all audit our spending, right? Where are we spending money? Are there areas that can be eliminated, things that are not really necessary right now, honestly? We should definitely be increasing our emergency savings. Think of also adding an additional income stream, even starting a business, lots of things you can do online, honestly. There's so much to break into digital space. Okay, and I may even be coming out with a course teaching you guys about starting a business in digital space. There's so much to that. And for those of you who do have investments, and I know you're losing money, you see the stock going crazy, but even though investment is not my, strong point, I know a little bit. So what I do know, in the financial people that I follow, they're all saying, honestly, like, if your pockets can stand it, like, don't sell. Don't sell, because believe it or not, at some point when this passes, because this too shall pass, at some point when this all passes and things get restored, your investments could possibly be even worth a lot more than what they were when you even first invested. And honestly, the wealthy people are even buying low right now, which is kind of smart. Like, if your pockets could stand it, because some of the stocks are like really, really low. So some wouldn't really hurt to buy, and now you're even, getting in the game, honestly. Okay, so now if you want some tips to like level up your financial education, I'm going to put in some links in my description box. But if you want some tips to level up your education, your skill set, your business knowledge, and get some business ideas going, make use of the resources out here. Some of us are going to not be able to go to many places anyway, right? Make technology your best friend. Read some books. There's a book out there called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Listen to some audio books, listen to podcasts. And when you go into these programs, you can do certain search for keywords if you want to know more about credit, if you want to know about more investing. These are your resources, guys. Go in and look up these things. Put these keywords in. Read blogs, okay? Like nerdwallet.com is a good one. They cover so many financial topics on there. Watch YouTube videos. When you're on YouTube, put a certain keyword in there. Search for certain things. That you'll find a lot of great channels out there. Okay. And also there's other places to take courses at, like I don't know how to pronounce Udemy, I believe it is. I used to say Udemy, but I've heard people say Udemy, udemy.com, coursera.com. There's so many others, guys. No disrespect to the college education, but there's many people should continue learning way beyond college. And even if you not going to college is not for everybody, but you can learn from so many other resources out here. Okay, you can go to these resources and others like it and learn to level up your financial education, level up your skill set, your business knowledge, and get some business ideas. There's even apps on the phone. Okay, so I want to thank you all for watching. I think that was everything I wanted to go over. And yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to go over. And also, guys, since the kids are home, make sure you're spending time like teaching them about these things, because no disrespect to school, but school is not covering a lot of these topics. And we all want to teach our kids, number one, not to rely on one income source. Number two, to just be financially educated to the best of your ability and to continue learning. So, okay, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and share this information with someone, because I think I gave a lot of value. If I didn't, sorry. I will aim to give more value. It's always the goal, to give more value next time. Thanks, guys. Take care.